Radish is, surprisingly, very high. Does anyone know what nutrient is really high in? You don't have to just eat meat to get a lot of iron. I use an iron skillet to cook in a lot, but radish, okay? Gosh, it smells so good. This is fennel. Yes, Kathy, you're right. Fennel, okay? And I freaking love fennel. Fennel has a mild licorice flavor. It's not licorice. Now, I want to teach you guys something about radish. Okay, radish. I feel like radish gets a bad rap, okay? I actually love radish for two specific reasons. First of all, I like it. So I'll just eat radish. I really love radish raw. I think it's underrated. Really simple way to eat radish is literally just sprinkle a little bit of salt. If you like smoked salt, is really good on it, or truffle salt. So I love eating radish raw. Now, I also hate talking my mouth full, but I always do. So just slicing up radish and eating it, it's actually a really great dip for hummus. So a lot of us are gluten-free. We don't use bread. And I find that using slices of radish to actually use in dips, it's really great as a bread substitute, and it's firm. And I actually like the taste quite a bit. Now, some of you notice that there's a little bite to radish, and if you don't like that, roasting radish is incredible. That's why it's part of my tray bake. Now, that being said, radish is, surprisingly, very high. Does anyone know what nutrient is really high in? Iron. So the reason that I love radishes is that it's one of those vegetables that is surprisingly high in iron, and iron is necessary for all your energy making in your cells. And iron is a crucial piece of what we call P450 enzymes in your liver. So that's the first part of detoxification that we call phase 1 detoxification. And a lot of those enzymes require an iron molecule to work. So what is a great way? You don't have to just eat meat to get a lot of iron. I use an iron skillet to cook in a lot, but radish, okay? So definitely dump some radish in there. Radish also has some properties, which it's very high fiber. So I absolutely love the amount of fiber in radish, whether it's cooked or raw, okay? So just dropping up a couple more radishes. Here you go. Iron, okay. Now, what I want to point out is a couple of unique things, all right? So even though we find this stuff in the grocery store, I don't see people buying this and they don't know what the hell to do with it. And what I really want to talk about is parsnip is related to carrots, and it has a sweet and nutty flavor, okay? It's really high in vitamin C, which we already know it actually prevents your cell from DNA damage. And the other thing is that it is absolutely one of those vegetables that's extremely high in what we call soluble and insoluble fiber, okay? Fiber is what your gut bacteria actually needs to ferment, to make a lot of things that help your body detoxify, okay? And fiber, insoluble fiber, provides the bulk that carries your poop out. So it's really helpful for movement, okay? A little thick. So parsnip, don't forget that, and just think of it as a nutty, less sweet carrot that has incredible immune and anti-inflammatory boosting, tons of vitamin C in it, tons of plant fiber in it. It's just fun, okay? So don't just buy regular carrots and call it good. I'd say experiment with a little parsnip. And here's the other thing is, when you buy carrots, do you know there's gold carrots and there's purple carrots, like buy different colors in your carrots to increase the phytonutrient property. Okay, and then now some unusual things. Anyone know what this is? Does anyone know what this is? Calling all you people watching, and parsnip, Kathy just said you can put it into soup. Absolutely, I put parsnip into soup all the time. Stores really well in your refrigerator. Why not just have it all the way around? Anyone know what this is? Anyone? Bueller? Gosh, it smells so good. This is fennel. Yes, Kathy, you're right. Fennel, okay? And I freaking love fennel. Fennel has a mild licorice flavor. It's not licorice, but it has a very mild licorice flavor. And so what I do is I take it raw like this, and I literally just will slice the bulb, like literally, like take really thin slices like this, even thinner, and just slice it into a salad. And it gives you this really nice crunch, almost apple with slight licorice flavor. And it's incredible raw in a salad. So if you want to zhuzh up your salad game, I mean, fennel is the way to go. And I don't use the top part, I just use this bottom. Let me show you how I slice it and then as I talk about it. So you could I slice the bottom off. Okay, and I just go. This is how I would do it if I was to do a salad, is I would cut it that thin. Because I'm doing a tray bake today, I'm gonna do it in some chunks, okay? So I'll do it into chunks like that for the tray bake, okay? Right into the tray bake, and I'll just put it in. And fennel is really awesome because you know why? It has some antimicrobial activities, okay? Fennel can be used as an antimicrobial, and you can actually see, like if you look at fennel seeds and fennel plants, it's a digestive. It really helps your digestion to digest food. It's highly absorbable. It helps with gut healing. And it's also antimicrobial, so we can actually use it as an herb to kill bacteria or fungus. So that's another thing that you can put in is fennel, all right? And then, and I'm not telling you guys you have to put all this stuff in. I'm telling you, like, check out what's in your fridge or check out what's fresh at your market. But this is a variety of root vegetables that I just found at my market literally 30 minutes ago that I was like, oh, that'll be fun. And if you smell it, it's like so fresh, right? Okay. So a couple things, which is what are some other options you can put in there? You absolutely can chop up some bell peppers. Bell peppers come in purple, comes in red, comes in green, comes in orange. Use all the different colors. Please use every color. And don't be shy just because something's a different color. In fact, if it's a different color, buy it. Is this helpful? I mean, is this learning about some of these foods and the variety? And I mean, how many of you have learned something new about vegetables that you wouldn't normally use, like parsnip or radish or a fennel? I'm just curious, is this helpful? And have you learned something new about a vegetable you wouldn't normally use? You can comment in the comment section. That'd be much appreciated. Kathy said, never make a dish the same way, haha. Okay, Amy says, what about turnips? I use turnips all the time. They didn't have it at the market, but turnip is another great root vegetable. Oh my gosh, it's turnip, radish, I think about, and beet are incredible liver-loving root vegetables. So I eat something from that family at least a couple times a week, whether it's in soup or roasted like this in a tray bake, to help my liver. You know, liver is a really important part of making hormones. It's an important part of helping enzymes in your liver that break down toxins. So it's incredibly crucial. All right, so this is good? All right, great. Okay, so I want to talk about parsley. Okay, I really think you cannot have enough parsley or cilantro. If you're not allergic to parsley or cilantro, my God, please eat a shit ton of it, okay? Did you know that one of the highest concentration of vitamin A is actually parsley? So parsley is incredible, and like one cup, I'm not talking much. 1 cup is not very much of vitamin of parsley, but 1 cup has like an incredible amount of vitamin A. So parsley is also an incredible digestive. It actually helps your body digest food, and it's delicious, okay? So I use it in juicing. I'll juice my beet greens with parsley to help with the liver, but I also cook with a ton of it. And I think when I think about parsley, and you could, if you like it cooked in it, you can. If you like it more toss in at the very end, that's okay too. I think that cooked or raw, I think that there's a lot of benefits to parsley. You gotta take the stem off parsley, so I just removed the stem right there. Okay, and then I give it a little bit of a rough chop. As you can tell, I'm one of those that don't measure, and I have fun with it. And as I cook, I'm talking to family and friends or being on Facebook Live. So this doesn't have to be difficult, but it's just really aromatic to have. And this is Italian parsley versus curly parsley. I never use curly parsley because it doesn't taste good. Italian parsley is definitely the way to go. Now, here's the other thing is that I will also do cilantro sometimes. I happen to love cilantro. So there isn't a day go by I don't eat cilantro. So if you love cilantro, I would use cilantro in here. Why cilantro is amazing is cilantro is one of the best chelators. As far from the plant kingdom. So what's really great at chelators help gets rid of heavy metals from your body. So I love using cilantro. I'll juice it. I'll put it raw into everything, and I also cook it also too, and I throw it into every soup. But think about Italian parsley and think about cilantro. You can't go wrong. Okay. So I know this is a lot of information. You could put literally 1/3 of what I talked about into here and have a tray bake. You don't have to have a gazillion things, okay? I wanted to give you guys a variety, and also I want you guys to see how beautiful things really are, right? When you have color in here, it's a really fun dish. We're not talking like a one-trick pony here. We're talking like a rainbow colored dish that's really beautiful and delicious to eat. Now, what about herbs and spices and oils? So this is just rosemary from my garden, okay? So I think everyone should have a rosemary plant. Rosemary is an incredible plant. It has anti-aging properties. It's incredible liver detox. It's also another herb that really helps with bile. And it actually has a specific chemical called carnosic acid, and carnosic acid is really incredible for protecting the brain. Now, some of you are TBI, some of you are dealing with brain fog and neurodegenerative disorders. Lots of rosemary. It's going to be really good for the brain, along with those purple phytonutrients, all right? And I'll take the herbs. Rosemary's best going upside down like that, okay? So if you just pull it like that against the grain, you're gonna have tons of rosemary freed at last, those guys. And I always think it's always really good to give herbs a little bit of a rough chop. It really does release the aromas in it, okay? So, man, ooh, that smells so good. All right, and then I basically will put it in here. Okay, some rosemary. I think rosemary is really awesome in there. Okay, now fat. What fat do you wanna put in your tray bake? So you want, if you're baking, we're talking temperature right now, my oven's about 420, roasting vegetables, we're talking about 425, 450 would be more roasting temperature, anywhere from 400 to 450. But you also want oils that can roast. So the searing temperature, the smoke point of fats are going to be really important to consider. So I tend to, when I'm roasting things at higher temperatures, over 400, we're at 425 today, is use high oils that are quality, that have a higher smoke point. So MCT oil, this is Pro MCT. This is ours with a high level C8. Pro MCT is really amazing because the high level C8 is caprylic acid. Caprylic acid is incredibly antifungal. So not only are you using food to help your body, but you're also helping antimicrobial by using an MCT like Pro MCT that has very high levels of C8. Now there are other options, and if you actually take a quick look, you're putting the fat in, it's a flavorless oil and it's clear. Okay, so I use this for baking, for actually browning meats or something, and I use it for salads as well. So you get all the health benefits, but because it is high C8, it's antimicrobial as well. So I put Pro MCT in here. That's possibly one oil that you can use, but let me give you a couple other options, okay? So I actually really like avocado oil, okay? I know Costco has one that's straight avocado oil, and I believe it's organic. Avocado oil also has a high smoke point. This one is a blend. This one is sunflower oil and avocado oil because I ran out of the Costco one. But either way, sunflower oil has a pretty decent smoke point as well. So I like avocado oil. I like to do Pro MCT oil. And then if you're gonna use olive oil, I just want you guys to know is extra virgin olive oil is low smoke point. So it's great raw, okay, for salads. Don't really cook with extra virgin olive oil. It's kind of a waste because you destroy a lot of the really good properties in it. If you are gonna cook with higher temperature and you wanna use olive oil, I would use a non-extra virgin olive oil. So regular olive oil is great for cooking, okay? Whereas if you're truly gonna get a quality extra virgin oil and you want all the health benefits for it and you don't want it to burn, don't use extra virgin in high heat cooking, okay? All right. So I'm just gonna go over, right now I just put the oil in there. Let me know where you're watching from. I just wanna make sure that you guys can hear me and Those of you who are not watching in the Facebook group when this replays later, you can join our Facebook group at Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. We're also on YouTube, and I love to cook and I love to teach. We have a program called Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally, and absolutely part of the program is FoodieMD here, really sharing my recipes, my love of cooking, and the frickin' science behind it all on why, from a functional medicine basis, these foods are really going to kick ass in helping your body heal.